Here we are. Now, what we're going to do here is do the New York Post. I haven't really caught up, but I'm going to catch up and cheat and jump ahead to the actual yesterday, which would be as far as I can catch up until I get to the morning paper today. Well, it's February 7th, Friday, New York Post. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a comic, recycle my voice. Gotta do something about that. A man without a tooth is an Appalachian reject. You know what I mean? People don't respect you. They say if the man had anything to him, he wouldn't be doing that. Look, I've been ill. I can barely walk, but I'm a trooper. That's what I'm doing in my economy. Okay, let's go on. Was it something I said? Mr. Trump, before there were like hundreds of thousands of people, and nearly millions running across our border. They're running across the illegally penetrating a country, putting a strain on both law enforcement because a certain amount of these people coming across the border were hardened criminals, and also our social what you call your basic social safety net, because the net can only take so many. That's why. And the Biden administration, which was had its own agenda of getting extra voters, figured all these people would vote Democrat. So they brought him in on a scale none known to man. Well, known to man, but in the past. Well, to the rescue came the man, the Trump, the legend. And he said, I'm going to cut down on the border. I'm going to stop the influx of millions into the land. And he did. Now it's only 600 or so coming across the border. Now it's been stopped dead in its tracks. That's what happens. That's what happens when you have sanity. Sanity. Now, eccentric insanity, I give you my Trumpy, who I worship as a god, a demigod, uh, is stopping the border crisis. But now it's a border battle. But we have to retrieve these criminals and throw them out the country or put them in Guantanamo. Actually, we could do a favor for both Venezuelan people and our own by putting these people in bond, and I say the word loosely when I say people, hardened criminals of the worst kind, into Guantanamo for 30 years, 30,000 they can fit in. That would cool off a lot of places that have these hardened criminals. Instead of sending them back home, they send them to there, and they're gone. They're gone. They're in limbo for 30 years. And they don't get away with murder and the pillaging and the killing that they do in their own country. Venezuela will thank us. The people of Venezuela, because these criminals, they're very bad, very bad. They indulge in the worst of the worst. Now, let's see. Super Return of Sexy. I like this. You know, the woke, the awakened, the two different things. The woke stay woke to complain about these and change the fundamentals of society and replace it with a revolutionary concept of fruitism, of freakiness. Now, a society can have freaks in it, but it was the meek who was supposed to inherit the earth, not the freaks. No, 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 no. You can indulge them to an extent, but they can't go crazy. They can't become the norm because they're incapable of being the norm. They're not the norm. They're just the opposite of the norm. Now you may say, no, Stravini. Who's to say what is normal and what is not? I am. What is norm is what will last for a little bit. Their little revolutions don't last one bit, and they do much more damage in terms of harming people dying. I'm telling you. That's from the left. The left doesn't know how to run things. Running, they run it into the ground. But this is when Super Return of Sexy. They had this little transvestite, this little boy. who look like a girl. They look like the woman from back of Tiffany. You brought it off. You think, hey, this is a good-looking skinny broad. But it was a man dressed as a woman who was extremely skinny. And he's selling beer to the Brat Boys. What? And then, underlying it, because the woman who was interviewed who actually made the commercial, that Frat Boys were stupid. Well, I'm not saying exactly that Frat Boys are the intellectual giants, but it's stupid if I'm selling to something. Hey, oh, stupid. No, it didn't work out. There was a rebellion, an open rebellion against this promotion. And now they're back to the reason that people watch the Super Bowl, at least frat boys, half the time. And old men, lusty old men, not dirty old men, they're lusty, still have the lust. And the girl comes out with a burger. And she eats the burger and eats it sexy and slow. That's the way it's supposed to go. And then they have horses, and somehow they incorporate the sexy. Yeah. Somehow they get naked people to ride Clydesdale horses or riding by. Why the beautiful woman, the sexy woman with the big boobs and the midriff showing and the legs, eats a burger in front of some guy, some college guy going, it's a beautiful thing. Now a transvestite, it's not the place for them. This is the other article. What they're gonna do when somebody doesn't want to take their criminal back, put them in Guantanamo. And let me tell you something. Nobody's going to come across the border, be it MS-13, the Dragamanago, or what do they call themselves, ever again. Because they will end up in Guantanamo and they don't know when they'll ever get out. See, they misinterpreted the Americans. True, under Biden, we were a decadent, corrupt thing, and that's a part of our psyche. And we can overload growth. But there's another part of America, another part that's steel spine of America, that is right wing, conservative, and reactionary. Yeah, my friends. And the reaction they're going to get out of this is something that they're not going to forget about. Evil will be destroyed. Oh, yeah. Well, send off to that Guantanamo. Colombian president, same guy who tried to force these illegal limits. I got to read the whole article. Saying booze and coke was the same thing. Same thing. No. People have been running around taking booze for 10,000 or 20,000 years. They've been all boozing. And society under the boozers has not fallen apart. Now, on the other hand, Coke has been for less people. It stimulates. It has a powerful thing, but people can't run around on Coke. What are the derivatives of Coke? Your crack, your zooped up Coke. Mr. Columbia, he's trying to justify himself of redistributing Coke around the world. No more, Mr. President of Colombia. All these symptoms are different, these drugs, and they have a different effect on the psyche. I refute what you say, and I raise you're full of shit. Excuse the language. Now you may say, Master Vinny, you've done hand-to-hand combat with the females. I was in a troop once that had female wrestlers in it. Athletes, if you will. It was half real, half not. Oh, I mean, it was real in the sense we were really wrestling. Not real, that was still theatrical, and we try not to hurt each other. Now, let me tell you something. But that was a situation with an average man, a little above average strength, was taking on the strongest women you could fight. And I lost most of the time, quite honestly, because these were experts. These were professional fighters and athletes. But women, there was clearly men against women. You cannot have men doing a little drag, getting into drag, getting a little sexy, fainting women, saying they're women. This is a lie. It's just a lie. It's not fair to the ladies, it's not fair to the little girls, it's certainly not fair to the little girls. They can't win any trophies. Because an athletic man of medium athleticism is going to beat the best of the females. It's just genetics. And this is this is their Achilles heel. Well, among other things, the forced or the coercive thing about transforming boys into girls and girls into boys, pubescence, they've gone too far. Evil always does. It always does. It always trips over the line. And when after the children, or when went after little girls, trying to force boys into female bathrooms and all of that, that's their real Achilles heels. People will fight for their children. They may be able to be bribed and intimidated by the big government and the radical activists for a while. But now this situation with them trying to abuse children, it means the end of wokeism. They'll be put to sleep. And I mean put to sleep like you put to sleep the animals. You know, Hey, put them to sleep for a while and let them go to Guantanamo. Uh, this is where I disagree with Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, I love Mr. Trump, but he's talking about getting rid of all the Muslims or the Palestinians, not so much Muslims, in Gaza. Move them move them elsewhere and make Gaza into an international city of some sort. That is like a Caribbean, it's a jewel of the Caribbean. He's thinking about real estate, man. He's thinking very practical. But that would be called, not ethnic cleansing, because that's killing people. But if you get them out there, they did things like that World War II. There was a part of Germany called Prussia, and Prussia. If you look for Prussia in the maps, it's gone. Certain parts of the country, they drove them out, or then he did some killing. And those places no longer exist, and they're no longer troublesome. You don't have the militaristic concept in Germany of Prussia. Now the Palestinians who live in Gaza and out the areas there, they make trouble when they go into a country. They caused a civil war in Jordan. They went same thing in Lebanon. This is true, no doubt about it. We may know the rationales and the reasons why, but that's the truth. That's why the Egyptians and all these Arab countries do not want to bring these Palestinians in the country because they think they're going to undermine their country and radicalize their own the people within the country and radicalize themselves. I don't know, but I don't know if this would work. And I don't want to see our soldiers for an indefinite period of time being shot at and maimed by these bastards. If our children or for our soldiers to die, it'll be dying for the cause in their own homeland to stop the Bolsheviks of Biden's, but Biden's Bolsheviks, so we can beat them peacefully, quite honestly. The soul of America is being fought over. And right now, all the demon Democrats have is the judges, the commie judges, the socialists, the liberals. Don't hit rich for favor. Now, they're saying that Don is doing everything to the rich and at the expense of the middle class and the poor. It's not true. I don't think so. Because the thing is, Don has money. Don has notoriety, but he loves to be loved. And he will hit the rich for taxes, but in a practical way where you need to, not in an impractical way. Not because punishing because they're rich and because and it's not like Elon Musk. They're saying, "Oh, the rich Musk got his money fair and square out of his genius. He was a middle class kid from South Africa, and he managed to become the richest man, the most powerful man, one of the most powerful, I should say, in the world. Elon Musk, I like you. You are fine and a real jewel. You will make us whole again. Elon Musk, I love you. Elon Musk, I love you. It's a hard dollar. I don't know what that means. I have to look it up in the newspaper. These articles that didn't fully read. Gay slay argument. Now this is a weird thing. Say I told and I kill somebody just because I don't like their face. And they're white, they're in the same color as me and all that. So I just kill them. That's really new. They're nothing but a bad boy. Now if I kill them because they're gay or black, but if you're gay, and which is gay means the hoopy doop with their own sex. I gotta the more resources put against me, and I'm going up the river for a longer time. A more longer time. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Everybody's equal in the law. The goal is not, and they try. Well, is it in society? If there's a underlying prejudice here, they're working out that one. That's the reason you have to persecute the criminals and people's the motivations. If it's especially, it's not like it's somebody running over somebody with a car by mistake. It's not a manslaughter thing. It's somebody is going to kill somebody. No good. Gays are not going to get special privilege. As simple as that. My kid, the Franks, kid, and his little friends, little rascals, they called them in one of the papers, commandeered a train and had a joyride. Now, this is a situation, this is a young situation, as opposed to when kids took cars in the 1950s and even 40s, I imagine, and uh, and had a joyride. This is the brain is not fully developed, and they don't have a good upbringing, or they have much too much booze in them. But to go and commandeer a train and take that for a joyride, that's an escalation. You have to have this escalation. It's not right. It's not good. How am I lose? They're a scary Nobel ruling. Screwy. This guy. He's murdering. He's killing. He's pillaging. He's stabbing. And they'll put him on bail. No. The greatest danger in this country is the common criminal. It's not the sky is falling, uh, you know, global warming. That's a distraction. It will kill a certain amount of people, but not that many. The real danger is the guy out there in the street who thinks he has a license to kill everybody and mutilate everybody, and the foreign ones who are doing it. Now the forces of good are in play under the glorious leadership of Trump. Glory, glory, Donald Trump. Glory, 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 Donnie Trump. Glory, glory, Donald Trump. His obnoxiousness is marching on them. Tried to do him in with a bullet or two. They tried to do him in, and if they got screwed, they did everything they couldn't afford. But it just wouldn't do. Donald Trump keeps marching on. Everybody now. Glory, Lord, Donald Trump. Glory, glory, Donald Trump. Bump, glory, glory, Donald Trump. His truth is marching on.